What's up, man? It's your man, Ken the Guru. You're now live with me, and you're now listening to my take. And I want to get my perspective on what Ishe Smith said. Before I do that, I would like to ask you guys to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Help me grow. If you like it, press the like button. If you don't, press the dislike button. Either way, it's all your opinion. But I just want to talk about this because amongst our community, right? So it's like more like a lesson. Amongst our community, this is always the case. Something can happen from a white perspective, right? And you got boxers and fighters like Ishe Smith who would say nothing. But when somebody like Steve Cunningham is disproving that, there are some irregularities going on in the sport of boxing, you will have somebody like Ishe Smith. You don't even need any white person saying anything, because there's going to be somebody, a brother, that comes out and goes against what is stated and try to prove a point on the behalf of the white individual. How do I know? Because it's been happening for years, hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? It's been the case. Just look at any scenario, there's always some type of black individuals that come into the defense of a white person. Now, am I making this about race? No, I'm not. I'm saying that to basically prove a point. Now, Ishe Smith comes out and he basically come to the defense of Tyson Fury, which is good because this is his own personal opinion. But here's the thing, he didn't come with the actual facts. You know what I'm saying? He came out and just started talking a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Now, it's a difference when you really don't have proof of anything, then that can be categorized as conspiracy, right? But with all the overwhelming evidence that came out, why did he say something? So let's read a little bit of what he said. He's like, crazy, just get that man his props and move on. He said, that's what he said. And then he says, if this was a controversy surrounding Wilder, they would be saying it's false and there is no way. I fought bare knuckles, the worst pain I've ever had in my hands, right? He said, I barely made it out of the third round, but you're telling me he fought 12 rounds like this? I'm just going to call a spade a spade. Black fighters will do anything to discredit white popular fighters. All right. So with the evidence that was presented to you, you see no irregularities, none. And then on top of that, you stated that you are the one that fought around 3 rounds and bare knuckles, and it was the worst pain in your life. Now here's where you and Tyson Fury differ. He comes from a background of bare knuckle fighters. That's the whole purpose of him saying that he's going to dip his hand in petroleum to strengthen his hand. So, number one, you're not Tyson Fury. Number two, you never fought bare knuckles. So, of course, if you're not used to that, then that's going to be the outcome for you. So just because you had the bare knuckle pain and incident that occurred for you doesn't mean that that's going to occur for Tyson Fury. Maybe he's been practicing at it a little longer, just a little bit longer than you have. You see what I'm saying? And so when he said he's been fighting, bare knuckles in 12 rounds, first of all, he didn't fight 12 rounds. The first fight, yeah, he did fight first 12 rounds. And then in the second fight, he didn't fight the whole fight with his gloves off. But it was proven that his glove was altered by Ricky Hatton in his corner. You're not talking about the irregularities and the fact that it goes against the rules how this man was punching. You're not talking about that. You're talking about how black people are discrediting Tyson Fury just because he's white. No, how about black people are discrediting what transpired because Tyson Fury cheated and he took an unfair approach, which goes against the fighting rules and regulation. How about that? How about the fact that this man had his hands down, I mean his hand in the wrist area and his glove flapping. How about you shut that aspect down? Because what Steve Cunningham did, he made a very great point. He went there and he basically did exactly what he felt Tyson Fury was doing. And it basically added up. Why don't you do that the right way? Not the way that you tried to do it. You feel what I'm saying? It's people like Cunningham is the reason what's wrong with the black community. And like I said, it's not about the race. It's about there's no self-preservation at all. We only think the worst about each other. So he found it in his heart to come out to make a video going against what another fighter has done, as opposed to, saying, "Oh, I mean, I looked at the footage. I didn't think that there was any type of irregularity, events going on." Instead, he just blatantly come out and basically make it seem like everybody is just somehow tripping and trying to find an excuse for why Wilder ended up losing. So in this case, I guess it's not a great idea to go against any type of cheating that actually occurred within the realm of boxing. Even though just last year you had 2 or 3 fighters that died in the ring. And if Deontay Wilder would have died in the ring, what would you be saying then? Because as you can see, there was a knot on the side of Deontay Wilder's head, and Tyson Fury doesn't hit that hard. He have had fighters that he fought that he done way worse to. And they wasn't lumped up. They wasn't all bloody. None of this. None of those things. They wasn't bleeding out the ear and all that other stuff. You think that's by coincidence? Or was the man literally using his glove, altering his glove, for an advantage? Was he doing that? Yes, he was. And only a person that don't want to see it won't see it. You see what I'm saying? And I really have to like say that's unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Because I see this more often than not. And then what happens is this person end up getting drugged, and then he want the black individuals that he basically just shunned and just told that he just disrespected and told that you just hate seeing a white person prevail. You know what I'm saying? He ain't say that verbatim, but that's alone the nature that he was speaking in. But basically, you don't want this person to prevail. But then if it happens to you, and then you start getting dragged to the mud, what do? You look to your own black community, and then that's when they turn their back on you. You know what I'm saying? And it happens over and over and over and over again, where black individuals try to come to the defense of somebody white, and then the culture or whoever the powers that be start dogging him. Now he has nobody to turn to. Now basically he's almost forced into depression because he shunned his own just to try to look good in the eyes of white individuals. You know what I'm saying? So Ishe, man, like you done yourself a disservice, and I just think that it was the wrong timing, and I think the approach and what was stated wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? So let's go and read a little bit more. He was like, basically, he said, "I'm going to call a spade here. Black fighters will do anything to discredit a white popular fighter," right? Which I already read. He was like, "As much racism in this game, that ain't it. The glove controversy is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. A heavyweight fought with gloves half on." So it's the dumbest thing that you ever seen, right? But that's what happened. So how about it being the actual dumbest thing that Tyson Fury has ever done? Because I must can't see. So the word see has a different meaning, connotation now. Because from what I seen a flapping glove, I seen a wrist balled up in a fist balled up in the wrist area. That's what I seen. You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you know, like, you can have an opinion, but you cannot try to degrade somebody for seeing what they see and then speaking on it. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that, because that's exactly what you just did. You know? And so let's continue to read. He was like, any other time boxers tell fans you don't know S about boxing, you never fought before, shut the F up. One fan makes a S video about a gloves being half on. Now this guy is the savior of the sport and knows everything. No, we just know that this person has presented evidence, factual evidence, that actually transpired within the ring, and he presented it to people, and now they see the light of what actually transpired in the ring. They saw all the dirty things that Tyson Fury was doing in the ring. What's wrong with that? Because I guarantee you, if it was a black fighter that done that, your whole tone would be different. And that's why you have a lot of people calling you a coon. I'm not calling you a coon because I don't even really use that word. But that's why. Because you are ignoring all evidence to still come to the defense of a white individual because of that reason. He's a white individual and you want to look good and pleasing unto the white culture. So you go against your own people. And then you wonder why people have a specific type of outlook on you. That's why. Because you sitting up there ignoring all the evidence. You talk about bare knuckle, forgetting that Tyson Fury comes from a background of a bare knuckle fighter. Then you talk about how people making up how he had half his glove off and, fighting with half his glove on. When that's the case, he had half the glove on. And then you talk about people is looking at young Pharaoh, which is the guy, as a savior of the boxing because he presented factual evidence that people seen, and now they have a different outlook on the fight. You're mad at that. I don't understand. Like, I really don't understand for the life of me how you sitting up here coming into the defense of somebody else as if they were cheating. But if that was us or anybody presenting evidence against Deontay Wilder, I guarantee you have a opinion on it. And the opinion won't be what you just said. You will be talking about how Deontay Wilder is cheating. That's probably how he been knocking people out. You will be saying all those things. That's what you'll be saying. So let me see. So let me continue reading. I'm gonna just go back a little bit. It said any other time, boxers tell fans you don't know S about boxing. You never fought before. Shut the F up. One fan makes a stupid video about a glove being half on, and now this guy is the savior of the sport of boxing and knows everything. No, first of all he knows what he see, and I know what I seen. So which is it? Does the casual fan know about the sport or not? Just because some people are casual fans doesn't mean that they don't know about the sport. It just means that they watch it periodically, right? So it says, like I said in my YouTube video, go to the gym, hit a bag like that, spar like that, and hit the pads for 12 rounds. Check back with me. Let me know how that S feel, right? He was like, a short while later, Two Val's posts, this is what they're saying. Two Val's posts were aimed at Ishe Smith, which he himself chose to highlight. The content has no place in society. Me reading boxing fans calling me a coon, racial slur, it was not knowing I'm on the front line fighting injustice. If you're on the front line fighting injustice, then how are you basically coming at Steve Cunningham for trying to prove that Tyson Fury cheated? How are you doing that? I don't understand that. You saying that you on the front line trying to fight injustices that goes on. Isn't that an injustice? If a person whose family fought bare knuckles and Tyson Fury is telling you that he actually put his fingers in his hands, dip them in petroleum, if this person is telling you that, if you have videos of him with gloves that actually split, and you have other gloves with referees telling you that he's the dirtiest fighter, you don't see no type of reason to investigate what is going on. You don't see no reason to try to look at the injustice that is going on, that the commission don't want to look into, nobody else want to look into, but you're on the front line. Like, come on, bro, that don't make sense. So let's continue. It says Smith was also accused of not backing his own in Cunningham too, which he also addressed. He was like, let me make one thing clear. I have no beef with Cunningham. I have been a fan of his in and out while I was boxing. Like, also, I love what he and his wife do for the boxing gym for kids. We just have different set of views on Glovegate. Doesn't mean I respect him any less, right? Okay, that's cool. That's your own opinion, right? Y'all have different opinion on Glovegate, but you haven't stated really what is your opinion. How do you feel about Glovegate? How do you literally feel? Because so far, only thing that I've read was you basically saying that black people are discrediting Tyson Fury because he's a white popular person. How is that so? I don't understand that. Nobody was discrediting Tyson Fury. Everybody that spoke on Tyson Fury let you know that he's a great fighter, and then they goes and talk about the gloves. However, he had his fist in the wrist area, which explains how Deontay Wilder was getting bruised up. Because Tyson Fury doesn't hit hard. Like I said, he had fights where he done way more punching and had way more combinations than that with Deontay Wilder, and they look nothing like that. Why isn't anybody talking about, talking about how Deontay Wilder bleeding out his ear, how that's irregular? You're not going to punch a person and make them bleed from their ear. Now, you can make a person have a knot on their forehead. You can do that, but you cannot just make a person bleed from their ear, and he talk about he want to fight the justice, but where's the justice at? It seems like you just want to be on the right side of the fence. You know what I'm saying? You want to look appeasing to, the white individuals as opposed to looking for justice for the sports. Like you claim that you fight injustices, but you're not even trying to look or doing any type of investigation with all the evidence that's out there. You know what I'm saying? So what you stated was definitely invalid. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't have been stated. Well, actually it could, because it's your opinion. But when you do that, make a statement, man, come with the facts. You know what I'm saying? That's all a person can ask for. When you come and present the facts on what you believe has transpired, then nobody can say anything about your opinion. Like, and that's not even, where I'm coming from, because I love a person to have an opinion, whether they disagree with me or not. I actually follow people on YouTube that don't even agree or had viewpoints that I have, because that's the only way that you could basically be well-rounded, when you don't just have a whole bunch of yes men around you and you listen to other people's perspective, and then you could basically come to a totality, you have a mind state, that mirrors everything, you know what I'm saying, and still have your own views. See, that's where people defer from, you know what I'm saying? Like, they think that just because you have a difference of opinion that you disrespect this person. No, that doesn't mean that at all. It doesn't mean that. It just means that these people think different from you. But there's no way that you could tell me that you did not see any questionable activity that transpired within that ring to warrant an investigation. If you could tell me that with a straight face, you know, then like it'd be unbelievable, you know, from my perspective. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got for now, man. This your man Ken the Guru, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You know what I'm saying? I definitely appreciate you guys looking at the content. You know, again, I'm trying to do live streaming a little bit more on a regular, you know, to give you guys interaction with me, so we can talk about things that's actually transpiring and within the world that goes on. You know, hopefully that you guys, you know, just partake in the stream, live stream a little more. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got for now, man. It's your man Guru. I'm out.